Hey, Maria. When do you think you're going to get home today?
Huh? I already finished work for the day. I'm just about to start heading home. Did something happen?
Ah, is that so? That's just great. It's good that you're able to leave so early. That'll be a great help.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Well, starting this weekend, my parents are going to be living with us. So could you get to cleaning things up?
Wait, huh? What are you talking about?
Sorry, I guess I kinda forgot to tell you, didn't I?
You kinda forgot? I'm completely lost here. Is this a joke? You're not actually serious, are you? You're telling me that they're going to be living with us? Like, permanently?
Yeah, that's what living with us means. I mean, it's not a problem, is it? I mean, we do have a pretty large house after all.
No, wait, just hold on a second. We built this house for the two of us, didn't we? We've only been living here for a month. Why in the world would you suddenly have your parents move in? Not only that, but you didn't even ask me about it before making the decision. Why wouldn't you talk with me at all before doing something so drastic?
Well, it's my parents, so I figured there wasn't really anything to discuss. I didn't think there would be any problem.
Are you crazy? Of course there's a problem with it. For starters, you can't just go deciding something this big on your own and try to just brush it aside with some, "it'll be fine" or something. Not only that, but I never agreed at all to them just living with us. Quite the opposite, in fact. In case you forgot, I specifically said that I did not want your parents living with us when we got married.
Well, you see, about that. Remember how you were away last weekend on a business trip?
Yes? What about it?
Well, my family came to stay here while you were gone.
What? You never even asked me if I was okay with that. Not only that, but tons of our things were out of place by the time I came back. And yet, you told me you had no idea what could have happened. So you're telling me you just outright lied to me?
Hey, I wasn't lying. I really didn't know what was done. All I know is that my mom cleaned everything up, so it still ended up clean and organized, didn't it?
Don't just shove cleaning off on someone else who's not living here. You can do it yourself. Seriously, I can't believe you would just allow your family to stay without so much as notifying me about what's going on.
Hey, I told you now. So it's fine, isn't it?
What on earth makes you think that just makes it fine? Of course it isn't. It's way too late to go telling me about it after it happened.
Well, regardless, they stayed over here for a couple nights. While they were here, they were talking about how much they just loved the house. It made me really happy to hear that from them, you know?
Yes. And?
Well, I told them that it would be fine for them to live here and they got super excited about it. Their old house has really started to show its age, for one thing. And my older sister recently divorced and started living there too. Really, their place has gotten pretty cramped nowadays. So I figured that it would just work out perfectly. So we arranged for them to move in.
No. This is just selfishness on the part of both you and your family. What makes you think you all can just make such a decision without even consulting with me first? Don't forget, I live in that house too. I deserve to have a say in this. What is the meaning of all this?
Oh, stop your whining. I'm telling you about it now, aren't I? What's so bad about it? We have an open room they can use and everything.
That's a room we had decided would be our guest room. Don't you remember? I just can't comprehend what would make you think it's all right to just do something so selfish.
What? What's so bad about it?
I shouldn't even have to explain what's wrong with it. It should be obvious. Anyway, once I get back home, we're talking with them about this.
What? Why do we have to do that? That's just a pain.
Oh, it's just a pain to you? You do realize that you brought this whole situation on yourself, right?
Well, there's not really much I can say to that, but
You don't have to say anything! We are talking to them about this. Or rather, I am going to reject the whole plan. Any objections?
well, yeah, actually. I can't really refuse them now.
What?
I mean, if we were just a bit late, maybe something could be done about it. But my parents are already going through the paperwork for selling their house.
Excuse me? What are you talking about?
So, I think you're going to just have to start getting used to living with them. You're not about to just make them live on the street, are you? And besides, you're my wife. There's not much else you really need to speak up about, right? It's not like you have the right to anyway.
Even though this is my house?
What does that matter? You need to obey your husband. Know your place. You're my wife, so do as I say.
This is completely outrageous.
Maria, what's going on? Are you still being this stubborn about us moving in?
Wait, what are you talking about, Catherine? I thought the whole plan of living together was canceled.
You're joking, right? If you are, it's a pretty bad one.
No, it's not a joke. Haven't you heard from Ben about it?
You don't think you can just throw out your husband's family that easily, do you? Even for someone as cold as you. Surely you realize that's impossible.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't think you quite understand what the circumstances are here. Next month, our house is going to be gone. We don't have any other choice but to move in with you, whether you like it or not. I think it would be better if you stop being so selfish and just quietly accept that we're moving in. Don't you think that would be easier?
I don't think that's exactly the problem here. Please, just talk to Ben about it.
Yes, I have. And he and our parents have already agreed to the idea of living together.
Excuse me?
Stop acting all shocked. The only thing left to decide is the day we move in. So stop being so obstructive and just accept it already, you self-centered jerk.
What? So now you think it's suitable to be using such language with me? I would appreciate it if you would at least act civil.
What? I'm the one being uncivil. You're the one who's being unnecessarily selfish here.
Huh?
You are only living in your husband's house because of him kindly allowing you to do so. Don't you think it would be smarter to shut up with all the selfish talk? As his wife, you need to obey your husband's family.
What century do you think we're living in where I should just obey anything you say?
Stop talking back and get cleaning so we don't have to move into a pigsty. Goodbye. So, when are you going to be coming home today? I don't want you to be too surprised when you come home, but…
Surprised about what? It's not like you haven't shocked me enough recently.
Well, considering you were being so unreasonable about having my family move in. I talked with them, and we decided we would just move in anyway.
Are you serious?
Well, what did you expect? You were just doing nothing but complaining about the whole thing. And don't forget, they're not going to have a place to live soon. Think about what I had to go through here, with your whining on one end and my family losing their house on the other. I was caught between a rock and a hard place.
Okay, that's it. I'm at the end of my rope.
Oh, don't go saying things like that. I promise, you'll be surprised at how fun it will be to live together. And besides, a lowly wife like you doesn't really deserve to have an opinion anyway. Oh, right, I should probably clarify. It's not like we're just starting to move them in. They're already here. There weren't enough rooms for them, so I had Catherine take your room instead.
Well, I suppose there's something you should know as well then. I just finalized our divorce.
Huh?
I knew from the beginning. I knew all about how you were planning to have your parents and your sister move in today.
What are you talking about?
I heard you talking with your family over the phone. You're really not good at hiding things like that. Thanks to that, I heard you say the date you would have them move in. Of course, this was all without you even saying so much as a word to me about it, let alone asking my permission. If you were open to changing your mind even a little, I think we might have been able to make something work. But you didn't. You just tried to bulldoze over my feelings, completely ignoring me as if I had no say in the situation. So, I filed for divorce.
What are you talking about? A divorce? Really?
Well, you already had divorce papers ready to go, didn't you? You said it yourself. You figured it would be good to have them ready to submit in case either of us grew tired of the other. You even said you would have no problem with them being submitted on a moment's notice.
Huh? Did I really say something like that?
I've got our texts about it as evidence. Would you like to see them?
No, I don't need to see them, but… What do you mean you filed for divorce?
It means exactly as I said. I'm sorry. Is that concept a little too hard to grasp for your pathetic brain? We are divorced now. We are not related in any way. So I would appreciate it if you and your family all left my house. Immediately.
What? Did you seriously just decide to divorce me without even asking if I was okay with it? What the hell are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. What's that? I'm not sure I understood you correctly. Let me see if I can get this straight. The person who just moved his whole family into my house without my permission is asking why I would do something without his consent. Am I wrong? Face it, we're divorced. You're the one who prepared the divorce papers to begin with.
But wait, moving in my family and us getting divorced are completely different things.
Oh? And how are they different? I'm the one who took out the loan for this house. The house is in my name, and my name alone. Did you forget that? If you had paid so much as a cent for the house, it might be different. But you did nothing!
I mean, sure, I didn't pay anything for the house itself, but I'm still paying the bills, aren't I?
Yeah, you're paying for the utilities and that's it.
But that still changes things, doesn't it?
Oh, it changes things now, does it? And how about how you've been seeing another woman behind my back?
Pa?
What, you think I didn't know? I told you. You are terrible at hiding things from me. I practically know everything you're thinking before you do. After I worked so hard and spent so much of my savings to have this house built, you've been trying to take it for yourself. You were planning to move your family in, chase me out, and finally have your mistress move in with you instead. Did I miss anything?
What are you talking about? There's no way I would do something like that. I mean, I'm not even cheating on you to begin with.
Do you really think you can claim that now of all times? I know how you've been seeing her for over 6 months now.
What?
I've had evidence prepared for quite a while now, too. Just in case, you know. I can't say I was expecting for us to get divorced like this, though.
What do you mean, just in case?
Well, of course, for when I'm showing why you don't deserve to get any money from me after the divorce. I mean, the divorce isn't about to be canceled at this point, so for all I know, you might try to weasel some money out of me in the process. Then again, I might be able to get you to pay me for what you've done. I'll talk to my lawyer about it.
Wait, what? You're going to try to take my money? Stop messing with me. I haven't even consented to the divorce. This is all just you trying to do whatever you want.
What's that now? I couldn't understand you over you trying to act like you have a say over who lives in the house that I built. You made it sound to your family like you were the one who had the house built. And on top of that, you have been cheating on me. You're the most revolting scum of the earth I have ever met.
But, wait. That's not what I was intending at all. Do you realize how embarrassing it is to say that my wife was the one who built the house?
What? Was it too painful for your manly pride to admit? Does it hurt to know that a woman had your house built for you? You certainly sounded like you wanted me to just be submissive and obedient, not to mention do everything you say. Are you that stuck in the past that having your wife help support you is such a painful thing to admit? You know what? Don't even answer that. I don't care anymore. And I'd probably just be disgusted by the answer. We're divorced now. We have nothing to do with each other anymore. You also have no right to that house. Not that you ever did. So would you be so kind as to get you and your family out of my house?
What? Seriously? But my family just finished moving in. We just finished all that work and you're making us move out now?
I'm sorry. I don't see how I have anything to do with what you're whining about. You're the one who just had them move in without my permission, didn't you? I'm warning you. I don't have much patience to listen to your grumbling. Would you prefer I called the police over and had them arrest you for trespassing?
What? What are you talking about? You're saying you would have us arrested? I don't understand why you keep saying things like this. Please, just stop. I mean, at least it would be fine if I still lived here, right?
What are you talking about? We're divorced. Of course not.
And what about my family? Please, just let them stay here for a little while. Look at the timing here. Telling them to leave now would just be too much.
Nope. If you don't get out of the house soon, I will not hesitate to call the police.
Look at what you're saying here. Just calm down, Maria.
Oh, I'm perfectly calm. You're the one who's panicking about this, not me. I have no qualms about having you arrested for this. But if you just stop whining and leave the house, then there's nothing to worry about now, is there? At least nothing to worry about from the police now, anyway. I'll be sure to send a message to your company regarding when the hearing will be, so you don't have to worry about a thing.
You're sending something to my office? Stop. Don't do it. Don't you think you're going overboard with all of this?
Well, where else would I send it? I don't know where your future address is going to be, and your family already sold their house. Do you have some other address I should send the notice to? I mean, I'll be sending them a formal notice regarding how you were cheating on me anyway. Your mistress is your coworker, right? I believe your company has a policy about that. Don't you get it? I've done my research. The only thing you can do now is regret all of the things you've done.
I'm already regretting it. I'm sorry. But still, don't you remember? My family just sold their house. Knowing that, don't you think it's too cruel to just chase us out like this?
Oh? You want me to think about their circumstances? You're telling me that the man who cheated on me and tried to take my house from me, since you intended on doing this to me from the beginning, that's like fraud. The man who forced his family into my home and was planning to have his mistress move in as well. That man wants to lecture me on being cruel?
I mean, look, there may be a shred of truth in what you're saying, but I didn't mean anything bad by it. Can't you understand that at least?
You didn't mean anything bad by trying to completely disregard my wishes and sleep around behind my back? Well, that does sound utterly ludicrous. I can't say it really even matters anymore. Whether I understand your crap or not, we're already divorced. You no longer have my permission to live in this house. If you don't get out, I'm calling the police. That's all. I'll be contacting your company regarding the hearing and your misdeeds. There's nothing you can do to change that.
Hold on. If you really do all of that, it'll be really bad.
Well, why don't you start by telling your family? Honestly, I might add. Maybe something like, the truth is, my wife had bought the house and was simply allowing me to live there. Or, I guess you'd have to say ex-wife now, wouldn't you?
But if I do that, it will look so bad for me. My honor as a man. It'll be destroyed.
Wow! I can't believe you actually said that. How did I ever come to marry such a pathetic human being? How about how your family believed every little thing you said and did nothing but talk down to me? What about my honor as a person? I think it would be better if you just admitted that you were such a lowly person. After that, you should gather everyone up and get the hell out of my house.
Seriously, there's no way I can do that. That's impossible. I'm telling you, there's no way we can do that.
I can't say I care. Just shut up. Talking with you is a waste of time now. Get out of my house, you worthless man. Do it quickly before I call the police and they make you leave.
Hold on, please. I'm sorry. I won't cheat on you ever again. I promise.
Oh, for sure. I can imagine you won't do something as idiotic as that again. But even if I were to be foolish enough to forgive you, as I'm sure I've said before, there's absolutely no way I am going to live with your family. If there's anything else you want to say to me, you should contact my lawyer. We have no further reason to speak with each other.
But, wait. My mother will take care of all of the cleaning. You won't have to do any of the work yourself. I'll give you back the room that I had given to my sister. She can just stay in the same room as my parents. Wouldn't that be okay? That should fix all of the problems you had with living with them, right? Let's enjoy life together. All 5 of us as a family.
I don't understand how you think you have any room to make such requests. Since I would prefer not to have to deal with your pleading any further, this is where I say goodbye.
No, wait.
Have fun trying to find a house. Maybe try holding on to it a little longer this time. It was quite an ordeal to deal with, what with my now ex-husband trying to take my house for himself and his family, but I managed to get through it. I guess the threat of being arrested was serious enough for him, because when I got home that day, there was no trace of him, his family, or his things. Over the next year, I started seeing someone else, and we've recently started living together. We're even starting to contemplate marriage, too. While I haven't heard much from Ben or his family, he had never blocked me from social media. Thanks to that, I found out that he was dumped by his mistress, and his family is stuck renting a cheap 2-bedroom apartment in the projects. I'd say I feel bad for their living situation, but they fell into this whole mess completely of their own accord. They deserved what they got. I'm just going to continue enjoying my new life without them. And that's a wrap. So, what did you think? For a guy like him to have divorce papers prepared while he's cheating on his wife, just what did he even think would happen? If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you have thoughts on how it could be made better, please leave a comment about what we can do better. Please look forward to the next one.